Guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time to my channel, hello, my name is JkissaMakeup and I love The Dark Knight. I saw it 8 times in theaters when it came out. It's my all-time favorite movie. Heath Ledger did an amazing job as the Joker. Anyways, today I'm going to be doing a kind of swatch collection overview and a tutorial featuring the brand new Colourpop pressed eyeshadows. Before we get started, I want to mention that these were sent to me by Colourpop, so I have not bought these. But of course, that's not going to affect my thoughts, my feelings, my concerns, I don't know. It's not going to affect that. I did this eye look. I know this might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I hope you do like it. And yeah, let me pull up the notes. We are launching over 20 singles plus 2 pre-made eye palettes. I don't know where the other one is. I can't hold 2 and 3 and I don't know. So I counted 24 shadows, but I know some people have counted 25. Maybe I'm missing one. I have no idea. So they are launching January 13th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. They are all vegan. Sick. When you buy 4, oh, I even forgot how much they retail for. So they do retail for $5 each. Okay. All right, Colourpop. That's one reason I love Colourpop, is because they're always so just like affordable. And if you want to try out a new color, you can just spend $5, sometimes $6, and I really like that about Colourpop. So they are $5 each. When you purchase 4 of them, you get an empty palette for free, and the pre-made palettes I believe are going for 18 bucks. So totally up to you and what you want to do. If you want to see the swatches and tutorial, I don't know which one I'm going to do first. I got to decide in editing. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes with my normal eyeshadow primer potion, which is Enigma from Urban Decay. I'm going to go ahead and set this with a matte color that is close to my skin tone, just to help all the colors blend better so the base isn't all sticky. It's just one of my favorite tricks to do. It's not even a trick, I feel like everyone knows this. Did a look a long time ago, back when I had peach hair, where I actually had darkness on the inner corner and then it faded to brightness or light, kind of reverse of what we normally do. So I kind of feel like doing that today. I'm gonna go into one of the palettes, this little maroon one, and I'm gonna start with the deepest color. I might deepen it later, but I'm gonna start with this shade right here. I'm gonna start by picking that up on a small blending brush, and I'm gonna work in small increments to really make sure I can get this all blended nicely. I just think it's a fun way to kind of switch up your typical eye look, you know? It's just fun to try different placements and just different places, you know? So this shade is super pigmented. Just gonna kind of work to blend it out. I'm using small circular motions so I don't disrupt anything. I really want to make sure that this is all gonna blend together, so we want to use similar tones here. If you need to grab a clean blending brush just to blend everything out, feel free to. I like to do this just so I can really blend out everything. Okay, so now that we have that down, there was just a little bit of fallout, as you can see. It took a little extra time blending, no big deal. To me though, I'm gonna pick up Cloud 9, which is the darkest brown shade, and I'm actually gonna add that to the inner portion of the eye, just because I really wanna bring some neutralness into this look. These shades are layering really well. I just have a little extra right there, so I'm just gonna take a clean brush and wipe it away. And this is gonna be a lot of kind of back and forth blending, adding, blending the next color. So really make sure you have your patient pants on for this. When I do a technique like this, I'm always gonna look straight ahead. I'm gonna make sure you can see it in the crease as well as on the lid section. Okay, picking up that previous brush, no additional product, I'm gonna work to harmonize these colors together. So I'm really focusing on keeping this area as blank as I can. And we're gonna kind of play with that technique a little bit. If you feel like it's getting over blended, you can take that clean brush and the shade that we use to kind of set the primer and really just clean that area up. It's okay if it's looking messy, trust me. 99% of my eye looks start off looking messy, and somehow they kind of come together. So there is fallout with this shade too, but I feel like darker shades always have more fallout for some reason. I don't know why. I'm not like a chemist or anything fancy like that, so I don't know why they do. And sorry I forgot to mention, but I normally like to mention if the shades I believe are going to work on darker skin tones, and I think those 2 last shades will. Sorry, I totally forgot to mention that. Moving on, I'm going to take even another brush If you don't have a lot of brushes, just kind of wipe them off on a towel and keep going. I'm going to move into the second maroon shade right here, which I also think is going to work on a variety of skin tones. If you are super deep, you can always mix in with this shade. So up to you. And I'm going to focus this just coming off of the two shades blended together. We really want to keep the outer portion blank. I'm being super light-handed as I can be, so I don't overblend. If you need to, take your lid shade that you would normally use and kind of start to pack that on the outer portion so we can get that blend going. And go kind of back and forth to really finesse the colors and get them to the pigmentation I like. This shade is blending really beautifully, not too hard to blend at all. Taking that clean blending brush that we've been using to blur out that edge. I don't want to carry it super far up. I kind of want to keep it a little bit more contained. Keep going back and forth, kind of blending everything together. That lid shade now, and to really blend the lid, I use patting motions to kind of just marry those two colors together, and eventually they're just gonna join together in holy matrimony. So I know it kind of looks crazy, but once we move on to the lower lash line, I promise it's going to tie in together. I just quickly wanted to mention there was a little bit of kickback with these two shades, as you can see. And what I mean with kickback is when you dip into the pan itself, how much product kind of kickbacks onto the pan. So I just wanted to show you that really quickly before we move on. I'm quickly going to clean up all the fallout. I'm going to do my concealer and I will be right back for the lower lash line. I paused it and I kind of noticed that there was just something missing from it, you know? I'm taking Wake Me Up. It's a few shades darker than my skin tone personally. If you're darker than me, you could always use Note to Self, or you could even use Top Notch. So depending on your skin tone, kind of adjust it for just a few shades darker than your natural skin tone. I'm just gonna use this on a flat brush to kind of really add a little bit of warmth into this look, but also to give it that neutral element that we had going on and to just help blend further. Cool, so I went ahead and applied concealer, and now we're going to move on to the lower lash line. You can totally mimic the darkness and the lightness, but I thought it'd be cool to kind of flip it on the lower lash line, so the darkness is out here like normal, and then light here. I thought it'd kind of be like a little optical illusion, I guess. So I'm just going to use the same shades we did, but of course using kind of smaller brushes. Start with that darkest maroon color in the palette. Picking up on a pencil brush, we're going to start to define the outer corner. And always take a blending brush to help blend out if you need to. And that's pretty much where I want to stop. I want the centers to be the same. Onto even a tinier brush, I'm going to pick up that darkest brown shade. It actually, I don't know if I said this earlier, it reminds me of Rot from Melt Cosmetics, the Rust Stack. So I don't know if you guys have tried that color, but it's really reminiscent of that, I would say. Last but not least, I'm going to grab that second maroon shade and just kind of really bring that and focus it in the center of the pupil area. And take that color that you used on the crease to set the primer, and we're gonna put that on the inner corner, well, inner lower lash line. For my waterline, I'm gonna be using a nude, again to bring that neutral element into it. If you wanna match each section of eyeliner, you could totally do that too, that'd be super rad. But I'm just gonna use a nude one. This is Makeup Geek, what's the name? Oh, Nude, okay. And then for mascara, I really want to focus the mascara on the outer portion where the darkness is, and then not have it towards the inner portion of the lower lash line. And then, of course, I'm applying top mascara, but that's just for the bottom. Okay, anyways, I'm using the Pixi by Petra Lower Lash Mascara. If you've been with me, if you rock it with me, you know this little baby is my jam. And I got mascara smudges, but that's okay. We're just gonna let it dry. Okay, now I'm gonna, I went ahead and just applied some black liner towards the inner part. Kind of like a little bit bleeding everywhere, but that's okay. I'm gonna apply some mascara to my top lashes now. This is the Ciate Wonder Wand. And again, I'm just letting that mascara a little smudge dry before I do anything to it. Okay, so I went ahead and added some lashes. I just added the Bambi lashes from House of Lashes. I'm gonna go do the rest of my face just because I really wanted to focus on the eyeshadow portion for this video. But I'm so excited with how this eye look came out. I love taking inspiration from previous looks and kind of recreating it and putting a different twist on it. Anyways, before I keep rambling, I'm gonna go finish the rest of my face and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is the finished look. I'll make sure to leave all the products that I use on the rest of my face in the description box down below. So wrapping up my final thoughts, I think it's freaking kick-ass that Colourpop is coming out with pressed eyeshadows and they're $5 a piece. I think that's awesome. I will say that I think the palettes are a little thick. They're not very compact, and I don't really know the reason for it. I feel like they could definitely be more compact. I'm probably just going to depot these four and put them in my Z palette with the rest of them. I definitely want to incorporate these eyeshadows into my everyday palettes that I have. I think that the two matte blues, when I was swatching them, these two right here, they could definitely benefit from a primer underneath them because they were super bright, but then when you actually swatch them, because I didn't use primer when I swatch, as always, I felt like it just was missing a little oomph. It didn't have the right amount of pigment, but I think honestly a primer underneath would really help that. Okay, so this metallic blue shade right here, I was kind of nervous for, because one of my biggest pet peeves is when you get a metallic deep blue or deep green, sometimes even deep purple. They can be black based and just have purple shimmer, where I want a true deep blue green. And this one wasn't black based, so I was like rejoicing, and I'm really thankful for that. The shimmers hit it out of the park as always. The mattes are very smooth, very creamy. I really enjoyed them. The purple is super unique right here, this purple shade. I find that it's super unique. It's not bright, but it's not muted. It's almost in between. It's weird. But I think that one lacked a little bit of pigment when I was swatching it, just off first impressions. And I think, again, with a primer underneath, it could really help. And if you built up the color a little bit, also that could help really nicely. So yeah, I definitely am going to be incorporating a lot of these. I think the lighter shades you could definitely use as a highlight, or even the deeper shades if you are deeper. I think this is a great start to your pressed eyeshadows. Like, as a company, when you're coming out, I think this is a great variety. You have lighter shades for light skin tones, medium, deeper. You got your pops of color, your on-trend colors, because I know that's really important to Colourpop. And they have like the oranges and the maroon and mauves. So yeah, so I'm quite happy with these. And if you guys want specific shade suggestions that I would recommend, let's just chat in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe before you guys leave, and I will see you next time. Bye!